Good morning. Welcome to the Professor Maima Show. Hope you are doing well wherever you're watching me from around the world. I want to wish you a good week on this Monday as you embark on the new week and you try to achieve your goals. So today I want to talk about something called the hustler madness in Kenya. So before the current government came into power, they said they're going to work for the hustler, the common man or woman who struggles to make ends meet. That's what I'm saying, hustler madness. So hustler to them is someone who's trying to beat himself to survive. But basically hustler to me is just hand to mouth. It's just crime. It's just conmanship. Because how do you tell people hustler and you at the top there you're living large, you're wearing watches worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, 25 million. Like there was I remember, I don't know, someone of the cabinet, here of cabinet secretaries, was wearing a very expensive watch worth over 25 million Kenya shillings. That's a lot of money, can build schools. And then they talk of hustlers. Hustlers, most are people who are living hand to mouth, trying to survive. You know, here in Nairobi to live, you need you need to have like $1,000 per month earning. You need to earn an income of $1,000. That's 150,000 Kenya shillings, something there. Okay, according to the exchange rate, can be 130,000 Kenya shillings per month to survive. But these so-called hustlers, per month, when you look at the amount of money they make like 10,000 Kenya shillings. That's like $100. How do you make $100 and survive in Nairobi? You cannot even pay rent, live in a good place. That's why you have so many shanties. They're not even, they're called slums, but they're just they're just building made out of metal sheets. Just a small space with metal sheet and the whole family sleeping there. Family even of 5 and above. That's what I'm saying about the hustler madness. No proper housing and all that. Yes, the government is talking about proper housing, but these people cannot afford. If you are earning, let's say $100 per month, how can you afford a house worth over $10,000? That's like over 10 million and above. You can't. That's why it's called hustler madness. If you want to empower the young men and women in Kenya, I've always said, number one is to ensure that education is free. From nursery to grade 12 here. We have CBC, so from nursery, kindergarten to grade 12. So that parents can save money to take their children to vocational training, to college or wherever they take them. So I was saying, free education ensures that parents can save money so that they can take their children maybe to college, vocational training, skills training, entrepreneurship. They can take them to apprenticeship, things like those. That's number one, free education. Number two, invest heavily in the agricultural sector. Farmers should get free seeds, free fertilizer for even 3 years. They produce enough food, and then each area should be done industrialization. So heavy investment in agriculture, number two. Then number three, industrialization. If a place is growing cotton, ensure there's a cotton industry there so that people can, the processed materials, we can export. Do you imagine you have enough land to grow cotton, but we are still importing cheap material? Yet you can produce top quality cotton that is up to international standards and make clothes here so that our Kenyan people can buy their own clothes. That's industrialization. Number three. And remember, if we have, let's say, let me talk about the textile industry. It's chaotic. They're just importing things, cheap things from China and wherever, and then they sell it to us at very high prices. And we have so many malls that are empty, selling one cloth, a shirt, for like, I don't know, nearly, it can be even over nearly $50. That's 5,000 and above. Who can afford that? You understand? So if we have our own textile industry, produces cotton, we produce clothes that are affordable, we sell them in the so-called malls, shops to create jobs for the young people. Because most people in Kenya, even me included, wear second-hand clothes from America. Because we cannot, the clothes that are manufactured here or made here are too expensive. In fact, what happens, you go to a tailor with the material, and then he makes clothes for you for a special occasion, maybe a wedding, a funeral, all those festivities. But for daily clothing, people just buy second-hand clothes. That's what I'm saying. Hustle and madness. So we need, first of all, to think. Now you have a situation whereby you have, how can I put it? A situation whereby you have people being told to hustle and it's just hand to mouth. So number one, free education, heavy investment in agriculture. Number three, industrialization. And those are three key areas. Then number four, infrastructure. We should be having a rail network, first of all, in Nairobi. Nairobi should be having rail everywhere. Should have super highways connecting from Mombasa all the way through Nairobi to Kampala. Have a major SGR electric train, I don't know what we call them, connecting Mombasa, Nairobi, Kampala, Kigali, Dar es Salaam. So that you can have a ticket moving around. Isn't it? That will also bring in the issue of a passport. East Africa, Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, Rwanda, Burundi should have one passport. So that if you're going to apply for a passport, it's not Kenyan passport. It should be an East African passport. So that you can move anywhere. I want a Kenyan to work in Tanzania. I want a Burundian to work in Kenya. Even to work in Uganda. I want a Rwandese to go and work in Dar es Salaam. Now that's what we're calling thinking outside the box. So that East Africa is like the European Union. Have one common passport that you can move with it anywhere, so that it means our data is integrated. Once you get a passport in Burundi, already the people in Kenya already have the information because there's a shared database. So that we stop these things of border. We are very small countries, we are tiny countries, and whatever we're protecting is zero. The East African countries, that's number 5, should become one country in terms of economy. Politics can take time, but in terms of economy, there should be one. Where through this one common passport that you can move with it anywhere. Once I have that East African passport and I'm a Burundian, or I'm a Rwandese, I'm a Kenyan, I'm a Ugandan, I can move anywhere freely. Once I reach at the border, they just scan it. Within seconds, I'm off. That's how we're going to build East Africa. But we're a very tiny country. That's why I'm talking of hustle and madness. So those are the things that the government can do, especially to make these Gen Zs feel as if they have hope in Kenya. If they don't do that, most people will start going abroad, getting out of Kenya, going and look for international jobs or international opportunities, which are good and most of the time bad, because I've heard stories from the Arab world what happens to our young girls. So hustle and madness is basically hand to mouth. It's not about building the Kenya that we want. The Kenya that we want is a country that everyone, every man, young man, woman has opportunity within and without Kenya. So this hustle and madness of hand to mouth, where people just live by the grace of God, should end. So government should invest in those areas. Education, free education, heavy investment in agriculture, industrialization, transport, road network, rail network, connecting the whole East Africa as one, things like those. That's what we are talking about. Not this nonsense we have, hustle just hand to mouth. So this is the Professor Mahima show. If you liked what you have heard, you can send something on the mobile number there, +254 769 729 327. I repeat again, +254 769 729 327. I hope you have enjoyed what I've been saying, and you feel as if you see that the country should be going in the right way, not hustle and madness, whereby people just live hand to mouth, and then the government tells us stories, oh, that is development. Development is whereby every person is growing, having good money, is earning in a month a minimum of $1,000. I want everyone who is above 18 and working should be earning a minimum of $1,000 and above. That's how we can get out of debts. the government can get taxes to pay our debts, to do development. East Africa should be one country economically so that we can face the world and give something to the world. So as I always say, Gwaheri ya kuonana, Gwaheri.